can go into Aaron Rodgers and the 6 touchdowns because he is a bad man. We can go into the 145 rating. We can go into the 2018 to 27. We could go into Jordy Nelson and this touchdown. We could go into whatever we want to get with Lacey taking a touchdown off a screen pass. We can point out all of that. In the end, what it comes down to is this. The Chicago Bears are an atrocity, and everybody needs to go. Mark Trestman, as far as I'm concerned, should be fired today. Today. Phil Emery, the general manager, should be fired today. And the rest of the players should be put on notice that, you know something, none of you might be back next year. And oh, by the way, y'all put forth another performance like that, you're going to take your own butt home if it's on the road. We ain't even paying for you to get on a charter plane. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was.
As you know, I was at the Chicago Tribune as their columnist for several years, so I have a pretty good feel for Bears history.
That's right.
I believe that halftime last night, given the expectations for this team, and especially for this quarterback of this team, halftime last night was the lowest moment in Bears history. Not in recent history, in ancient and recent history. 42-0, and do not underestimate the Bears-Packers rivalry. That is your arch rival. And all the things you just talked about became painfully clear at halftime, trust me, to every Bears fan watching on TV.
Of course it did.
And again, this team teased its fans. Remember, it did have the one Sunday night win early at San Francisco with the big second-half comeback. Jay Cutler threw 4 short touchdown passes. But when you give up 50-something at New England, then you have a bye week to lick your wounds and plug your leaks. And you come back out against your arch rival in a big stage night game, and you give up 42 in the first half. Many, many, many things, as you just alluded to, are very, very wrong. So it's time for them to start over, because clearly, number one, as you say, this team is not responding to this head coach.
No.
Just not, even the offense is not responding. And listen, you didn't bring up Mel Tucker, the defensive coordinator. That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's just it. I'm sorry. I don't care. You've had your shots. You have to start over, which brings us to Phil Emery and what he is going to, even if you fired him today, there's one thing that you cannot undo. He just gave Jay Cutler a long-term deal. He made him the franchise quarterback. And you know how much I have loved Jay Cutler because he went to my school, Vanderbilt.
And you know I never loved him.
Okay, I still love my school. I no longer love this quarterback. This quarterback continues to regress, even in the first half last night. He makes 3 killer blunders. He continues to commit killer turnovers that this team cannot overcome. And he can't save this team with his leadership or his passion or his dedication or anything you get from him in press conferences. Do you get any emotion from him? Do you get anything uplifting from Jay Cutler? No, you don't.
That's my problem with what you're saying. There is no leadership from Jay Cutler. There is no inspiration. There's nothing about him that galvanizes anybody. He looks depressed most of the time. And I don't know why that is, and I'm not going to speculate about it because this isn't the forum to do so. But this guy went from your quarterback. There has to be some kind of intangibles that you can lean on. He has none. He's lifeless on the field. He's lifeless in press conferences. Damn it, his outfits look lifeless. Everything about this dude looks lifeless. And to me, the fact that you gave him money as an executive leads me to believe that you are not fit for the job, because you are supposed to do your homework. The most important position on a football field. When you make that kind of investment, you got to know. And let me go back to your guy, Tony Romo, because I don't want people to faint when I say this. No matter what, how to knock Tony Romo about, I could never accuse him of that stuff. Tony Romo tries to give it to you. Tony Romo, there's something about him. There's a fighter. You see a fighter in him.
I agree.
You know, you might see a gunslinger. You might see he might be an accident waiting to happen. I might joke around about that. But at the same time, he does a lot of good things as well. But I don't see guys looking at him and saying, you know what, what's he going to give me? I can't believe in this guy. You could see it. The only person that seems to support Jay Cutler is Brandon Marshall. And how many times I get on Brandon Marshall, as much as I love him, I always get on him for wearing them Jay Cutler pom-poms. I haven't seen him wearing it over the last few weeks. Maybe the good thing that could be said about all of this is that he has become wiser.
I agree.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
Bears fans, I feel your pain today. And Brandon Marshall, I feel your pain. He is one guy who really wants to win on this team.
And a lot of people, and I'm not going to call any names, but we have a lot of NFL aficionados, experts, commentators, pundits. There was a whole bunch of people that spoke up for Mark Trestman. Well, that leads me, that's got to be about friendship. Because there is nothing that I have seen from this man that would make you say, he's going to be a really good coach. Really? I mean, this dude, it's bad, man. I mean, listen, Chicago's a great, great sports town. They truly do not deserve the disgraceful effort that I saw last night. It's so embarrassing as far as I'm concerned. Chicago fans, it's cold out there, Windy City and everything. You don't need to stay in your homes where there's heat. Don't go out there and watch this team.
Let me sum this up about the city of Chicago. Chicago has its Cubs and its White Sox, and its Blackhawks have provided greatness recently, and the Bulls had their run, and occasionally they may have another run this year. But it is still at heart a Chicago Bears city. And that's why this is such a terrible moment for this city.
I think this city is ashamed to have the Bears as its representative.
You guys talk about Jay Cutler in his career. And he's now 1-11 with that loss against the Packers.
How do you do that?
That's
not a rivalry. 1-11?
It's embarrassing.
1-11?
1-11. That's worse
than the Cowboys.